Hey, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com. It's just about to get the season underway, and we've got some of those simple things that people ask about, and we want to make sure we can help you out. And this is about pumps. We all use them, get these kites inflated, but you don't understand is how to make these pumps last longer. Now, getting replacement parts and pieces for these things are just about basically impossible. The cost of a pump is so far down there that some of those little maintenance things, you can't get the pieces and parts. So I'm going to show you a few tricks to help you maintain your pump and keep it going as long as possible. I've got some of the most basic pumps sitting around me here. I got the Nash, the Ozone, the Crazy Fly, Air Rush, and Slingshot. Now, if you look at these pumps, they're almost all the same. All of these two on these sides, other than this one in the middle, these are all basically made from the same mold. They got different names on them, but they all work the same. This is a different manufacturer. I think Cabrina and Air Rush are using it, but they're all built basically the same internally. I want to show you a few things. So what you have is a double action pump is going to have your piston seals inside. Now they're all going to be the same. So if you look inside of here, this piston and the other ones are real close to the same, but just a little bit slightly different. What you have here is you have your pump piston seals. You'll have them go one way and the other. These seals over time will begin to flatten out as they sit in your pump. You leave it in your car, you leave it on the beach, it gets really hot. These seals will settle in and you will have this situation where your pump is not catching pressure. So if you want to help out on that, take your fingers and massage these little valves, these valve seals, and push them out. Work them out quite a ways. You can sit here, put some oil on there, and work on those. Now, another thing is the oil. A lot of people ask. One of the best I like to have is a synthetic motor oil. Most people have that sitting around somewhere. It's not real thick like grease. Grease will thicken up. If you get sand in there, it will stick to it really, really easy. But using like a synthetic motor oil, 3-in-1 is a good one as well. It keeps things going, but you have to lubricate these things. You've got to keep this aluminum shaft because there's seals up in this top part here as well, and you'll burn those out and you'll melt them. That's the biggest cause of pump failure, of having your two-way system in the pump not working. Now, you have problems getting your pump off. The guys here in the shop have a really neat little trick. See this rubber band? Put a rubber band around this, the plastic, and you can get a really good grip and get that seal popped undone. So again, lubricating and keeping those internal pistons and keeping a layer of oil below it, and above that, just pour a little bit in there, rub it around in there, get that piston working in there. It'll work really well. Now again, what a lot of people don't understand is right inside of here is another seal. On every single one of these pumps, you can't see it's pressed down inside of here that runs along the aluminum shaft. So what I recommend is get some WD-40 or something like that. That's a solvent, that's not an oil. I do not recommend WD-40 spraying on here thinking that's going to lube this pump and make it last longer. It is a solvent. It is a water deterrent. It is not oil. It is not a lubricator. So remember, get the WD-40, spray the shaft. If you want to clean the whole pump out, spray it with WD-40, wipe this off really good, get this all clean, and then put your oil along this shaft and rotate it as you go down there, and get this internal seal in here to get all lubricated all inside of here, and that will keep that and make that wear a lot longer. It's not the internal part that's the most important, it's this shaft. And the reason is when you go up, that has to seal out the air to push the air up through here. And if this seal right here fails along the top of this cap, that will cause some major problems. And basically getting a replacement part is not possible. So keeping this shaft, if this gets dry, keeping a little bit of oil sitting around, a little bitty, I have a little tube like this, something simple, put some of that synthetic motor oil in there, and you just got it sitting in the vehicle, in the truck, wherever it is, and keep that thing clean and keep it oiled. Now, another problem that'll happen is when you're out there on the beach, which we all are, and we're all having fun, it's great. Sand is the worst. If sand gets up inside of these hoses, layers all over this stuff, it is going to work itself into that pump. So that sand gets in there, I'm telling you that's the worst problem. It'll scratch the inside of these cylinders and it will weaken that, and your air pressure will go down dramatically. So keeping simple maintenance on them, WD-40 is a cleaner. It is not a lubricant. I just want to say that again. I have so many people just want to spray that on there. It will gradually wear out the pump and it won't work. It's a solvent, clean it up. put some lubricating oil on there. Get, as I said, the synthetic or a 3-in-1. Now another thing that'll help out, you'll see almost all the pumps now are coming with a pressure gauge. Is it absolutely necessary? No. Do you want to keep this thing going as long as possible? Probably. So a lot of people like to use them. I recommend getting the WD-40 now. It's a water deterrent. You're not lubing this thing, you're coating this thing. These are lower cost, they're cheap. That once they start getting a little bit of salt water in there, they will begin to rust. Dope this thing with WD-40. Spray it all over and then wipe it down a little bit and stick it back in there. A simple maintenance like that will keep the moisture off of it and make it last a lot longer. You will also see in some of these they have a one-way valve inside of here. Take that WD-40, spray it, blow through here, get all that sand out of there, it cleans it, and you're ready to rock and roll. That is real quick maintenance and it will take care of that. Now, another thing that I see a lot of things happen is this pump hose. Someone will take these pump hoses and will pull these things real tight and wrap around the pump such as this. If you will notice right here, you'll see this kink. These are cheaper little hoses. They will last you a long time if you do some maintenance on them, but that cheap little hose over time will get a crack and then your pressure goes down. You want to make this last longer? Take this pump hose, take it off. This is the pump end that goes into the pump. Take you some electrical tape, duct tape, whatever you would like, and put a nice strip right around this area, probably good to 3 or 4 inches down. I just take electrical tape and I wrap this thing. Make sure to clean it first so it'll stick on there good, but wrap that thing with electrical tape, and that will decrease this bending effect and make that last a lot longer. So what will happen is your hose will come out a lot further like this, and you can see is it probably won't kink. And don't wrap it tight around your pump. Wrap it a decent amount, use the leash to hold it onto the pump, and it's going to last a lot longer. Anyway, also down here at the tips, you can look here at the little fittings. These are a good thing. You'll notice that they're attached by a little rubber tube. This will corrode, sun will eat this away. Take a string, rip this out of here, take a piece of string, tie it around all those little fittings if you need them and you want them, and then tie that string back around the end of the hose. It will stay on there forever. But this little plastic piece, once that breaks and you lose all these fittings, you're not going to be a happy camper. So that's something that's another recommendation. Other than that, take care of your pumps, pump your kite, get on the water. If you have any questions or you want to learn a little bit more about the simple things of kiteboarding, give us a ring here at Kiteboarding.com. And again, let's get out and do some riding.